Hello everyone. Hello. I am going to be doing some rambling today. Some little story time, life update rambling. I have this to kind of tap on. How are you guys doing? I forgot my little mic, so I don't have that today, but hopefully you'll still be able to find this relaxing and tingly. Tapping with things with nails on is so much fun. It makes a really nice sound. Wouldn't you agree? Well, so what I would like to talk about today is the fact that I am in my hometown. I'm staying here for probably the last time in the foreseeable future because my mom and stepdad are actually moving. They sold their house and they are going to be moving next week to North Carolina, which all happened pretty suddenly. But I'm happy for them. I think it will be a really cool place to go and visit. If you're from North Carolina or if you've been there and you have suggestions of places that you'd like to check out or that you feel like I would enjoy checking out, please let me know. So yeah, that's kind of been a huge thing because they are the last ones living here in my hometown. The rest of my immediate family lives in different states, and as you guys know, I live in San Diego, so I will be the only one left in California. My sister will be in Colorado. My dad lives in Wyoming. My brother and his family live in Florida. And now my mom and stepdad are going to be living in North Carolina. So we're going to be all over. So yeah, basically it's kind of strange that I won't really have a hometown anymore. Like, of course, this place will always be my hometown, but there's not going to be really anything that's gonna take me back home. Most of my friends from here, I should say all of my friends from here, are married and they have children already, so I wouldn't really like have an occasion to come back up here, like, for like weddings or like a baby's first birthday or something like that. I feel like all of those major life events have kind of already happened. And so, yeah, I really don't know the next time I will be back up here. I don't want to say ever because that just makes me really sad, and thinking about it too much will probably make me cry. Like, I haven't even like processed this yet and what it means really. But yeah, it's really strange. If anyone has experienced something similar, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know like your experience and what it was like for you. Let me know anything that was like helpful, because like I said, I haven't really been thinking about it, so maybe that's why it hasn't really been affecting me much yet. But I don't know, I feel like it's gonna make me sad later, because I think there is like a grieving process to that. Like, I grew up here, I have so many memories here, good and bad, and it's just weird. Like, I truly am like closing this chapter and leaving it behind, and in a sense I already was kind of doing that, or I have been doing that when I decided to move to San Diego a couple years ago. But this is like for real now, so I don't know, it's so strange. But I've also really just come to realize that home isn't really a place. It's more so where you feel at home, where your community is. And thankfully, I have such a strong community right now in San Diego. I can imagine like what this would be like if I didn't. I think I would probably be devastated because like I've mentioned in a lot of other videos, I'm a very nostalgic person, and sentimental and things like this like mean a lot to me. And I like revisiting places in the past and just having memories, even if they're sad memories. Like, I don't know, like I like the feeling of like remembering things, which isn't always the best. But anyway, so that's been really interesting. That this is just going to be my last weekend here. I just got home from visiting with some friends, and yeah, they were like, well, of course, you're always welcome to stay with us if you do ever need a place to stay up here, or if you want to come and hang out. But I don't know, like it's just so different, like just not having like your family here and like your own space, which this isn't even my own space anymore because it's not my home or my house. But yeah, it's really interesting. I just pictured my family like living here forever, I guess. Like, I don't know, like I really love where I'm from, and it's such a beautiful town. I know a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, but some people I think like thought I was boring growing up, and they thought like, oh, like other places are cooler. But I think it's a really nice place actually, and especially to raise a family. It's pretty safe. Everything's still fairly new, so everything's very like pretty. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, something else I wanted to kind of talk about today is just like how you interact with your friends that aren't believers. I have one close friend right now who isn't a Christian, and I struggle with it sometimes because I of course want to be a good witness to her and show the love of Christ and like be an example of what that looks like, and some of that means living differently and doing things differently than people in the world would do. But it's challenging when I have a past that, this is like a little spotlight, how funny, I have a past that was very much like in the world, and so like sometimes I get kind of pulled back into that if I'm not careful, or I have such a desire to please others and to I don't know, get approval from others in the moment type thing, that it's hard for me to kind of like push back against things. So for example, if someone's doing something or saying something that's making me uncomfortable, typically I'm pretty good over text, or if I have some time to think about it, to like respond in a way that I'm more comfortable with. But in the moment type situations, it's very difficult for me to say like, oh, that makes me uncomfortable, or for me to change the subject, or something like that that's gonna kind of like shake the boat a little bit. But I felt convicted the other night, it's probably like last weekend or so. I went out with some friends, and both of them, one of them was this friend that I'm talking about, and another friend was someone I'm not as close with but also isn't a believer, and they were talking about something, and I just didn't really want to be a part of that conversation, but I didn't know how to like not be in the moment because I kind of like freeze. It's very interesting. And so I just ended up engaging in the conversation, and I felt really convicted after. And yeah, and so I was talking to another friend who is a believer about it, and we were kind of just discussing it and just praying about it after. But yeah, I found that was interesting to me, how difficult it is for me to just like speak up when things make me uncomfortable, and when I disagree with something, or even just to say something that might be controversial to someone else. Like, people do get offended by the gospel because it, confronts them with their own sin. And that's a difficult thing to do, but something that, we're called to do at times as Christians. And so, I don't know. If you have any experience with that or any thoughts with that as well, I would love to hear your perspective in the comments. I feel like I'm talking a lot, or maybe talking fast, but it's only been 11 minutes, and I do try to make longer videos for you guys, but I'm kind of like running out of things to say already. I don't know. I wish, like, even ASMR, I'm nostalgic about how it was in the beginning when I first created this channel during the beginning of the pandemic, and I had so much more free time, and like that was such a beautiful gift. But like the things that I'm doing now in life is also a gift. They're both just like different types of gifts. And I don't know, I'm trying to like remember that, so I don't get caught up on like things from the past that maybe felt like a gift, because it could have just been a gift for a season, and God is continuously giving us new gifts. He's giving us the gift of himself, of Jesus, which is most important. I just got really thirsty, probably from all the talking, but also I got some highlights in my hair. They're somewhat noticeable, but yeah, I wanted to have my hair a little bit brighter for the summer. I don't know, you might not be able to tell in this lighting, but I like them. Wow, I'm really running out of things to say. I got a new laptop today because on Friday I made the mistake of running late to work, as I often do, and I threw my hydro flask, which I was just drinking out of, I threw it in my bag, and it must have not been like screwed on all the way, or I don't know what happened, but my laptop was in the same bag, and a lot of water got out and got into my laptop, and my laptop died, just as I was getting to work. And thankfully I only had one telehealth client that day, which I ended up doing over my phone. But yeah, it was not ideal, and so I just had to spend a lot of money on a new one. I hope to take better care of this one. But yeah, I guess it's kind of new to have a new little, gadget. I don't get that excited about things like that though. Like, I know people get really excited when they get their new iPhone or their new MacBook, or whatever it is, and like, I mean, I guess it's kind of exciting, but I don't know. I'm more of like a practical person when it comes to material possessions. I tend to get more excited over like experiences and things that I get to share with other people rather than like things. I guess that's a pretty good thing, right? Don't get me wrong, I do have my little things that I like to buy sometimes, like everyone, but I also started budgeting because, you know, with inflation, everything is so much more expensive, and I've been spending so much lately. And I was just looking, and I didn't realize how much I've been spending on food, and I just need to be a lot more careful with that. Not eating out as much, and like actually eating all my leftovers when I do make something at home in the beginning of the week, because, you know, I'm just very picky with food and I can be quite wasteful, and I just want to get better at that. So that's another exciting thing in my life, you know, budgeting better or more. You know, I don't know. I love spending time with my married friends with kids up here, but it also, I think I've talked about this before as well, but the last few times it's just made me really sad because in San Diego, I know people that are married and have kids, but for some reason it feels different. Like I don't feel like excluded or left out, and not that my friends are like intentionally trying to make me feel that way at all up here, but I just see like their lives and I get sad. Like I get really sad and I get jealous, and that's just not a good feeling to have. One friend in particular, she also does what I do for a living, and, you know, she has a son and a husband, and she only, you know, works like a couple days, and that's like my ideal situation, to work part-time and the rest of the time like take care of my child or children, and also just be like a really good wife to my husband. And so like it's hard not to get envious when I spend time with her, and like I feel really bad after because I know how much she loves me, and like I love her too, and we've been friends for such a long time, but envy is just like not a good emotion to have. But that's also why like I have such mixed feelings about, you know, not coming up here anymore, and like not being around these people, because even though they're so fun and I have such a good time with them, like it also just makes me sad, and I don't want that. And I should probably work through that, but I don't know how. Like I really want their lives, and it's interesting because in San Diego, like I don't feel that way. It's like I'm a different person almost. Like I'm totally content being single. I don't like really desire someone for the most part, and I go through seasons of this. Like I'll go through seasons of like wanting to date and feeling like finding someone, and then I'll go through seasons of just being content and just really enjoying my life as it is. But for some reason, when I'm up here with this particular group of friends, they like bring these emotions out of me, and I don't like it. So yeah, there's just, like I said, a lot of mixed feelings. Because I feel like I would make a really great wife. Like I have so much to give and so much love. This is like making me emotional, but yeah, God has different plans for me, and I just, like as cliche as that is, like I know I need to trust his plans, but sometimes it does get to me. It's like, what did all of my friends do right to like get this life. And I know it's like the worst thing to do, to like compare your life to others in your journey, because everyone's journey is so unique and so different, and God uses all of us in different ways, but sometimes it's tough. So yeah, kind of all in my feels today, as you can tell. One of my friends that I hung out with earlier, she invited me to go to breakfast with her in the morning, and I'm kind of like, I already said yes, but I almost don't want to, because I know these emotions are probably going to come up. They tend to come up when I hang out with her. Since she's also a therapist, I'm sure she knows like the right questions to ask and stuff, and I almost just like don't want to see her, because I want to avoid getting emotional and like crying. And I used to be a very emotional person, especially during my teenage years, and I would say like early college or so. I used to get so emotional all the time, and now I'm not really. And so when I do get emotional, I don't like it. And before, it would just be like, oh, okay, like, you know. I mean, it's not like I loved it, but it wasn't that bad, I guess. And now that I don't like experience these strong emotions as much, when I do, they feel a lot harder, and I could see why people, want to avoid their emotions a lot, right? And I need to remember that. So when I'm talking to others or my clients, like, I don't push them to like, experience the depth of their emotions perhaps before they're ready, or go too fast too soon. I don't know. Anyway, I also just wanted to like say goodbye to someone for the last time, even though it probably wouldn't be a good idea, but they didn't respond, and maybe they had a feeling too, or maybe they're doing something else or talking to someone. I don't know, but like I said, it's probably for the best. I know it's for the best, but I don't know. I like having closure with things, and sometimes you have to create your own closure because you don't get it from the other person, and that's okay too. Life is so interesting. My friend and I were talking about high school, and she said something like about 15 years ago, and I was like, stop, do not say that. Like, when we were freshmen or so, that was 15 years ago. Like, time is just such a crazy concept now. Like, I still feel like I'm like 26 or something. Once you get into your 30s, like, it's just it's weird. Like, it's such a weird feeling, because I feel like when you're in your 20s, you just kind of feel like you're going to be in your 20s forever, and like, just always going to be young, and you don't realize like what older people mean when they talk about getting older, or like how you start to feel, and like even how your body changes. Like, I hurt my back last week because I haven't been as active, and like it's been hurting off and on, and I just feel like I don't know what I'm saying, but I hope you are following along. I hope this is somewhat relaxing, and that you can relate, and that you appreciate my vulnerability. I have no idea who's going to come across this video, but I just want you to know how much you are loved, and like, I don't know you guys, so I guess I can't really say I love you, right? I mean, I love you all in the sense that if you are believers, like, obviously we are all brothers and sisters in Christ, and we're all going to see each other someday in heaven, but don't love you on like a personal level, but I want you to know that you are loved. You are loved by Jesus, and like I need that reminder more too. And it's hard when you can't feel like his physical presence, right? You can't hear his audible voice. But man, when you do feel his presence, just by like spending time in the Word or prayer or just nature, whatever it is that you feel his presence. Not that he's not present. He's always here. He's always present. But when you actually feel it, like nothing compares to that. It's just so much joy and peace despite our circumstances, despite what's going on in the world. And I just can't wait to experience that in eternity someday and not have this nostalgia anymore, not have this sadness or jealousy or envy or bitterness or, all those gross human feelings that we all experience sometimes. Okay, I think that's enough for today, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope you sleep well, and I hope to be back soon.